is Mami Ifua. I am a Ghanaian. Les week-ends à Bakechi sont très intéressants.
Bonjour les chers spectateurs, bienvenue sur Enfrenched, My Journey with French. Je m'appelle Madame Ethel Adika, je suis votre animatrice et je suis la fondatrice d'TAPIF-GH. Hello everybody and welcome to Enfrenched, My Journey with French. My name is Madame Ethel Adika. I am your host and also the founder of TAPIF-GH. You know, the one I come on this show, I'm super excited because I bring amazing people. Today, I've brought one of the amazing people I met online. I meet most of them online. Those of you who are not making use of social media, hey, I'm missing out. So I was roaming online and then I met this lady who is also talking about. I used to think I was the only one. In fact, I've been the only one in my circle for a very long time who is so passionate about French. And then suddenly I begin to see a whole lot of young ladies and gentlemen who are talking about French like me. So I feel like I finally have found where I belong. So I'm bringing all of them on my show, talk about our common passion, that is the French language. Donc, aujourd'hui, j'ai l'honneur d'accueillir mademoiselle Ethel Adika, qui est assistante de langue française, assistante de langue anglaise en France. Okay, so today I'm here, I'm honored to have mademoiselle Ethel Adika, who is an English language assistant. I get it confused because we are doing French and then she's teaching English in France. So take it like that, guys. I am just blending everything. She will do a full introduction of herself because I don't want to take anything out. People who have French have a huge profile. And when I talk about it, I'm definitely going to miss something. So I want her to talk about it herself. Bienvenue, Ethel.
Merci beaucoup, Madame Yoma. Bonjour à tous et à toutes. Je suis ravie d'être ici avec vous. Et comme vous avez entendu déjà, je suis Ethel Adika. Et certains de mes potes m'appellent Emerald. Donc, soit Ethel, soit Emerald, ça va. Et le nom, c'est Adika. Je suis Ghanaienne et plus précisément, je viens de la région de Volta, donc je suis Ewe et je parle Ewe aussi. Je travaille actuellement en tant qu'assistante de langue au lycée et au collège en France et je suis formée en tant qu'une enseignante bilingue, donc français et anglais. Donc, juste un petit peu sur mes loisirs, j'aime lire, j'aime écrire, surtout de la poésie, et j'aime chanter pour m'amuser, et aussi j'aime faire du sport. Donc, en un mot, c'est moi, Ethel, et enchantée.
Oh, wow. As for this French, yeah. Hey, all my people will sleep just listening to the titles. Like, all of us, our voices are a little bit thick. So when we say the French, my people will not sleep. I only use so okay. So please, please say it in English. We want to hear it.
Oh, okay. So hello everyone. First of all, thank you to Madam Woma for receiving me and granting me this interview. And I'm happy to be here with you all to share with you my journey in French. My name is Ethel Adika, and some of my friends call me Emerald. So I go with Ethel Emerald, and then the surname is Adika. So any of them is fine with me. And currently, I'm working as an English language assistant or teaching assistant of English in France. And I am a trained teacher, so a bilingual trained teacher that is specializing in French and English. And just a little bit about me, about my hobbies. I like to do sports. I also like to read, and then I like to write, but principally articles or maybe principally it's poetry for me. And then I also like to sing, but usually to just amuse myself. So just that's just a little bit about me, and nice to meet all of you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for coming. All right. So I think this one everybody knows, but I want you to say it yourself. Has the
Okay.
language helped you in any way?
Ah, d'accord. French has been very beneficial. C'est très utile dans mon voyage. So I would say that the first thing that I'll talk about is having the opportunity to go for a year abroad fellowship. It was a scholarship. I think the universities, they don't have like scholarship. It's not funded for them. But I went to the College of Education and I was the first batch of students to be selected from French colleges of education to go to France to study. And it was on a scholarship and it was in collaboration with the French embassy and the Ghana Scholarship Secretariat. So I was very fortunate. And I used to talk about that experience very much because at a point in time, I felt like grace was also speaking for me because something happened. You know, when you are taking when you're applying for that, you have to like take a test. So initially, I didn't want to do it because I was good at French. I was good like in writing, but I was someone who didn't dare to speak, who was reluctant in speaking. So the day my my lecturer sent for me to tell me about the whole program, I was like, "Sir, are you sure I could do this?" Like I wasn't so sure myself because I felt like, oh, we have people, you know, I have Togo colleagues from Togo and other countries that could speak the language. And I was just like a normal Ghanaian girl trying to learn a new language. And so I was like, I'm not so sure I could do this. But he was like, I know you are very determined and I know you could do it. So why not try first? So with 6 people that applied, and then fortunately, we were 2 people that were picked out of it, and I was part of the 2. Now, in trying to apply for the program, you have to take series of tests. I took some of them, and it was already good. And there was one last test that we were supposed to take. Honestly, I was in my village and network issues and all that. So when I was taking the test, I faced like network issues, and then because of the time, everything just went quickly and then the test ended. So at the end of the day, I had A0, uh A0, which was like a level in French at all. So I knew I had already like j'ai déjà raté l'opportunité. I had already missed the opportunity. So there's no chance for me anymore. And then I was there, and then I had a call from the embassy. Hello, we asked you to like take this test, but currently you're having A0, which is not a level in French. Did you face any issues? So I explained to them, and they were like, okay, so would you be okay if we send you another link for you to take the test? I said, okay. I was waiting for like days and haven't received any link, only for me to receive a mail of félicitations. Vous avez été sélectionné.
Oh,
I was like, how? Because we were 3 left, and the 2 guys that I was with, they were already good. So I knew that, oh, c'est mort pour moi. It's already dead for me. Like everything is. But at the end of the day, I was selected, and I would say that that little French that I maybe I was trying to make effort in class. Back then in the university, my professor saw it. He saw how capable I was, and then decided to ask me to try. And that little French was able to give me the opportunity to travel for the very first time in my life to France. I never even imagined like going to France in the first place. But because of French, I found myself there and I had the opportunity to get immersed in the French system, especially with learning the language. And then I would also say that currently, as you are very much aware, I'm a language assistant. It's a two-time renewing, so it's like that's my third time working as a language assistant. And again, it's because of French that I'm still in France. And then finally, I'll just say that not work professional basis, but you would be there and then you just have like an audio transferred from a friend, a colleague, or a message transferred. And then they're, hey, could you help me translate this? Could you help me do this? Could you help me like answer this person in French and all that? And I'm also teaching it online, both English and French to other students. So French has indeed been beneficial to me and my life journey. Yeah. Thank you.
I love this story. That's a very powerful story. Yeah, but you said something about the training college. Which training college is that? Because in my time, I only knew of Mount Mary's. Is it Mount Mary's teacher training college?
Yeah, so Mount Mary was very known for French language, and of course, that was my college. But we did have, we actually have about six French colleges in Ghana. So I think we have Enchi, we have Biwa, we have Baga Baga. We also have the Wesley College of Education. So, and then Amejope, of course. So I think after Mount Mary, Amejope is also known for the French language. So we had selections from those six schools. So from my school, for instance, we had two people. Amejope, we had two. Enchi, we had one, and then the rest of them one. So we were eight students from the six French colleges of education to go for that program. Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that there were any
Yeah, I think the program is no longer even in existence, maybe.
Why?
I think it's probably because of money issues, because after us we had like one more batch of students that went, and then after that I haven't heard anything. And so I don't know if like maybe, yeah, it has been stopped because I haven't heard anything about people going anymore. So probably because of money issues. And the College of Education students, we were being sponsored by the GSS and also the Ghana embassy, so the France embassy, sorry. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I knew that those of us at the universities, we had the year abroad chance. For my batch, it wasn't sponsored, but at least you being able to have something like that, some can try to go or not, whether it's sponsored or not. People have the option to say, yes, we want it, no, we don't want it, yes, we can, no, we can't. So I was thinking that, oh, if they brought that to Mount Mary's, then that is great. I mean, to the colleges, that would be great. But
I actually met some university students there, so
for university students, it's been I completed KNUS in 2009. I went
yeah.
to 2007. So for the university one, it's been there for a very long time. And I don't know about now, but back then, those who went to Benin, we had Benin and then France. Those who went to Benin were sponsored by the government and then they had monthly allowances. But if you choose France, that one is your own. Well, hello. That's how ours was like. Yeah.
Yeah, so we also do have the Togo and Benin one. So while we were in France, our colleagues went to Benin and Togo. So when we came back, we had like a month to wrap up for what they studied while we were away. And then, so we were studying for like a month for all the courses that we missed. And then they were in Togo and Benin also enjoying. I mean, we have been to France, so. We didn't have to join them again, so we have to cover up for what we missed. So the Togo and Benin is existing. Yeah.
So now that means that now in the colleges also they go to go and be.
Yeah, they go. That one, it's there.
So I'm happy to hear that because when we were at the university, people would complete the Mount Mary's and then they come to the university. Oh, but they come and they are very fluent. Hey, those people scared us in school. First year and they are speaking French, blah, 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 older than us. So you're kind of intimidated. Some of them try to actually intimidate us with their French.
The thing about Mount Mary is that they try to back at the Nalipok, they immerse you in the language. So even if you were studying other courses, you would still speak the French. There was no room for you to speak like any other language. Yeah, so if you are studying any other courses, you would speak the French. So even if you are not a French student, at the end of the day, you have some knowledge in French before leaving the school.
What you're saying is that Maomeris is not just for French teachers.
No.
Hey, Ghana, for we are not informed enough. We are not informed enough. You are letting me know. So it's like a teacher is a whole teacher training college for
Yes.
all subjects, not just French.
Yes, for different programs. So, for instance, we have social studies, RMA, we have Ghanaian language studies. Yeah.
Then I am yes. Now we know. Oh, that's impressive. I get it. So that means, I mean, fellow Ghanaians, it means that right here in Ghana too, they are doing so well. Our teachers are doing well to
Yeah.
help us. We have the language immersion advantage, but our teachers are doing well, and we have to applaud them. Let's stop always bashing the French teachers. I mean, they're in Ghana and they are learning and they can speak and come and scare us in the university like that.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about that was way back in 2005 because my first year was 2005. And it was scaring us with friends. So I know that by now it's much, much better. Wow, that's great to hear. That's
Yeah.
great. All right, so let me ask the next question. How did you learn the French?
Well, thank you very much. That's an interesting topic. So, apparently, I started learning French. I always say that I started from high school because back then, my junior high school in the village, we don't study French, and so I had not so much idea about the French. And then part of my life, I also had to move from the village and then I went to the city. It was a bit of movement from me and all that. And then the only time I got to know there was something like French was when I was transferred to a private school. And then I think about the second term, we had a part-time teacher who was supposed to come teach us French, but we've not really had that teacher in the classroom. He only comes for his money and just leave us like a past question to to just study. So you guys will just be like doing the cha-cha thing, guesswork, and then at the end of the day, if you had like 30 over 40, you are the one leading the class. So then I didn't stay there for long, so I had to I left back to my village, and there was no French. So I completed my whole junior high school without learning French. Then when I got to the high school, this was where I started French. Now I did arts. In my school, we have arts one and arts two. So I chose the arts one. And I had like government, literature, and other stuff. And I had the option to choose between French and CRS. CRS is Christian Religious Studies. And then I decided to pick French. I honestly have no idea why I decided to pick French because I had no idea about the language. I don't even know what I could do with it, but probably just because I love to read, I love to explore new things, and literature was one of my best subjects and all those stuff since I love writing and all that. I said, why not? Let me just go with French like that. And then I went with the French. I was fortunate. I had like a very good teacher. Of course, he's very strict, but he also made learning fun in a way. We started by exploring the alphabet. He taught us how letters could come together to sound, for instance, the OU becoming U and all that. And that really helped me in my reading, in the reading aspect of the French, because the teacher who teaches us French to just be like, are you sure you didn't study French anyway? But it's just because we were taught, and then I decided to master what what I was taught. So I It wasn't, I wouldn't say that it was like a very smooth journey, but I think French was difficult, especially when it comes to the Luila, the feminine, masculine. It comes to using those pronouns, e, and co. It was really difficult sometimes, but I was doing my best, and with the encouragement of my teachers, they were like always praising me, encouraging me. And so even though it was like a very strange language to me, I still managed to pull through at the end of my high school education, and I passed the exams. And then right after that, it was time for maybe the university or the College of Education. So I decided to go with the College of Education, and the forms were bought. So I had admission to like about four schools, I think, Gavco, Ameco, Mount Mary, and then Dunbar. But I decided to go with Mount Mary. And then again, like you said, Ghana, nobody knew that other courses could be studied in in Mount Mary. So my uncle was like, Mount Mary is for French. Oh. And I said, yes, I want to go with it. He said, it's French. Oh. Like, Ghanaians, when they stress on their O, they are trying to warn you indirectly, but they don't want to come straight forward to tell you that don't go for it. So I was just like, oh, I think I could do it. So I will be able to do it. So we decided to go with the Mount Mary forms, and I found myself in Mount Mary for 4 years, studying the language, studying different courses. We did the grammar, the writing, and different courses in French actually. And because it was teaching, so we had other aspects of the course that were on teaching as well. So then again, it wasn't easy. It was a difficult journey. There were those moments you feel like, did I actually make the right choice? Or and then you just find a way to motivate yourself to keep studying. And then at the end of the day, we sailed through again. And here I am as a trained teacher of French and English.
Your story is super, super inspiring.
Thank you.
French, oh, they were warning, it's French, oh. Are you sure about it? It's French, oh. Right. And then, I got a bit sad along the line when you talked about the fact that you as a public school, as somebody in the public school, there was no French teacher. And then you moved to the private school, and then the part-time French teacher was not coming sometimes. I'm saying I was sad because that is the story even now. French teachers are very difficult to find. Really, French teachers are very difficult to find. And I think that people have to know that it's mainly because French is a hot cake, right? When you have French, there are so many opportunities for you. Such that if I can have French and work in an international organization or somewhere, why would I want to go and teach? That happens, right? So if as a school you have a French teacher, it's very important to keep them well. Keep them well because they are very difficult to find. Whenever
That's true.
I have this yearly program that I organize, is Be in French. Whenever I send letters, I go to some of the schools. Most of the schools don't have French teachers. Most of the schools don't have French teachers. And even with some of the French teachers that I met along the line, some of them, they are French now. Some way. But they are managing. They're trying to do something. So
Trying their best.
they are trying to do something. So we just have to manage with that a lot. And usually I don't say much about it, but I feel sad because it lets you understand why people have problems speaking French in Ghana. The foundation is bad. The
Yeah.
foundation is terrible. There are a lot of people whose French teachers, they don't stay in the class. Some of them are also not doing the work well, but the schools have no option, so they have to stick with that person. And then there are some who don't really know, but they are still trying. Okay, so there is a major deficit of French teachers at the lower levels. And that is the cause of much of our problems. Because, I mean, French is difficult. As you have said, even you sitting here rattling French like that, you have said that French, it got difficult along the line.
I mean, It's not to even cut you short. I've spent 4 years in high school, 4 years in college, and even after that, I wouldn't say like I was very fluid in the French language. Everything started when I decided to speak despite the errors, despite the mistakes and all that, whether the grammar is correct or not. When I came back for the very first time from my year abroad, it was difficult speaking, not because I didn't know what to say and all that. But I also felt like, I got immersed. So I started like having a little bit of the accent, the pronunciation. And so everything is going to seem strange to my people. And, Ghanaians, that kind of, they shush it's mad. You're going to just like be whispering and all that. And then if you also don't want to like have that kind of stigma or that kind of being, you just decide to just keep mute and all that. So even after college, I do understand Ghanaians would say that I'm very good at the writing. I understand when you speak, but I can't speak.
I can
so, so yeah.
I relate to you on what you said about when you returned, you couldn't speak. The same happened to me. When because I already love the language, when I went to France, I took everything very seriously. And so when I returned to Ghana, I was shy to speak. I was shy. It's like once you start speaking, everybody keeps quiet. And it's as if you are bragging. I'm not bragging. That's the accent I
That's it. That's it. Oh, about a trade.
usually whenever they read something, oh, does anybody want to read? I'll just avoid. I didn't want to because anytime I started,
Yeah.
the whole class would go silent, like dead silent. And I just don't like that. I can really relate with you on that. Please, those of you have been doing that. You're also one of the reasons why people are not speaking French. You intimidate us. Let us speak the little. Even now, our cry is not perfect, but we are trying. When we try, others will also be encouraged. So please, when we are speaking our French, allow us to flow. Allow us to flow so that others will also, join us. Because French is meant to be spoken. If we just keep it quiet, you keep your mouth shut. You may know a lot, like she's saying. I was also very extremely good in French, but I couldn't speak. I couldn't speak until I did my year abroad, and then I came back, and then there also I was hiding the French because of how the stigma that you are talking about. So we all have a part to play. Let's all do our best to let the people speak the French because French gives a lot of opportunities. Yeah. Okay. Now let me continue with I saw on your Facebook that you are the president of TAPIF Ghana. When you're doing the introduction, and look as a mentor, I've caught you, I've checked. You're the president of TAPIF Ghana. Hey, felicitations. Felicitations.
Thanks.
So I'm going to focus on TAPIF. First of all, how did you get into the TAPIF? Then we can ask questions to help others who want to. Yeah.
Oh, okay. When I came back from my year abroad in 2021, I was still in school level 300 by then. So after school, that was in 2023, I was doing my national service. Back then, we heard of the TAPIF, my colleagues and I, we heard of the TAPIF, but it wasn't something I was so much aware of because when we were going for the year abroad, it was a Ghanaian assistant who actually came to receive us at the airport and then guided us to our destination. So from there, we heard of the TAPIF. So we're like, oh, okay, then maybe after school would give it a try. So when I was doing my national service, the opportunity came again. I think it was shared on our platforms, and we got to know that it was open. The applications were open, so we decided to give it a try. Now, one thing is I didn't want to try in the first place because of there was a financial tag on it of having about 1,000 euro at the time, and I knew that I didn't have the money, and I don't know if I'm going to get anyone to help me with that money and all that. And so it was it was really something that was preventing me from applying. But I had a few friends who reached out, hey, you're good. Why don't you just try despite the money? You just apply. For now, apply. If you get it, we'll find a way to get the money. So I think it was about to end in January, almost like the last week, and then I just decided to do the application. And then again, the girl got an interview. And then after the interview, I received a mail that I was selected. So back then, the money wasn't like a compulsory thing for us. So I got selected again, and then that was how come I ended up being a Ghanaian assistant in France. Yeah.
Clap. Let me pause and clap. Amazing because he saw this. He said, I don't have the money. God bless those friends. We thank God for friends who encourage us to go above and beyond. To even try the things that we think we cannot do. The friends, if you are watching us, God richly bless you.
Yeah.
Only to go in and find out that you still had a chance. Oh,
Yes.
so you have a powerful testimony. I cry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Have you finished? I cut you again.
Yeah, I think that, yeah, that was how I ended up being a language assistant. So, yeah.
I also saw that you've been doing it for the past 3 years and that you've done the lycée and the college. So how does it go? Like how come you've done it 3 years? Like do you apply every year?
Okay, so the application is there like for the beginners, those who are just about to try. The application is just once. And so when you are now in France and maybe you have a period of 7 months to work as a language assistant, and at the end of that period, I think from the next year, February going, they would open applications for renewals. So for those of you who have been selected already, what you do is the renewing process. So you have to apply for the contract to be renewed for you. And if you are fortunate, you get selected again, then your contract is renewed. But one thing is, after it is renewed, you still have to come back to Ghana to take a new visa and then come back to France. So
They just want you to go back to your country before you come back again.
of course, I mean, that's the term of the contract. After 7 months, you come back to your country. So, yeah.
What does it take over your country? Hey, this is for okay, all right. And then you said you do the lycée and the college. Is there a
Yeah.
requirement for choosing which who is doing lycée, who is doing college, or you can do all? How does that go?
Okay, so let me quickly just take like the requirements and should I go with that and then so the requirements and then the application process. So if you want to apply for the TAPIF program, you need to be a Ghanaian resident in Ghana. You need to also be 20 to 35 years old and a level 300 students. But again, if you're a national service person, because I was a national service person when I tried it, so you can also give it a try, who knows? And then you should be willing to share your culture with the schools that you are going to work with. And yeah, so with the application process, you need a site called Adele. Adele, not the singer Adele. So, so, so when you go to Google, just type Adele and then you add Fee or FEI Fee, or you just Adele France Education Internationale. You type it in and then you have the blue background all coming up for you to apply. And then so you can go to their website, you check everything, and then so you use the Adele platform for your application. Now the application has five stages. You have your personal information, you have your education background, and then you have the destination, wherever you want to be in France. You pick the regions that you want to be in. And then you also have the fourth stage is professeur évaluateur, is a professor from your school or a lecturer who can log in onto the site to evaluate your application. I think they would have to also call you to grant you petit interview, so like a little interview, and then after that they can evaluate your application. And then the fifth stage is what we call Mesa 2. So the Mesa 2 is just like your strong points. And so you have to list like some things that are very relevant to your application, that if you think that if you add them, they could give leverage to your application. And yeah, so those are the stages. Now, let me come back to the third stage, which is the question that you asked me about the selection of the schools. You have the option to select your destination, the regions that you want. So, we have different regions and they are grouped into zones, so zone A, zone B, zone C. So you have the option to pick between them one academy from each zone. And after picking, you have the choice to pick your preferred level. So we have primaire and secondaire. So if you pick primaire, I wouldn't say that absolument you are going to get like primaire, because I think when I was starting I picked primaire, but I got lycée. So you pick the options that you want, and then they give you their school. They can give you like primary school, they can give you college, junior high school, and then they can give you high school. And then there are some people that can work in both college and lycée, just like I'm currently doing. So that's about it.
Wow, that's a very detailed, very detailed. All right, and also, what about the French proficiency level? What should be your French proficiency level?
I think I'll meet at that. Thank you very much for the reminder. So, I'd say you need a minimum of B1. And if you have a DELF certificate or TCF certificate to show, like a language certificate to show your level, you can upload it. But I would say that it's not obligatory with a certificate. But the certificate only, it just gives that credibility that you have that level. But then again, there are some people who have the certificate to show, but if they want to speak, so you may not have the certificate, but you believe in yourself that at least you have the B1, state at least the B1. Or if you believe you have the B2, state the B2. And then when you are fortunate to have the interview, you go for the interview and then you prove yourselves to the panel that you are capable of the B2. Basically, that's about it. Yeah.
And also, the proof of funds, is it still there?
Yes, we have the proof of funds. Now there is a stress on blocked accounts. So you need the account to be blocked. They want to be sure that you have that money. That money is belonging to you, and it is an amount of 1,500 euros or the equivalent. Okay, so you need an account that has that amount or the equivalent in Ghana cedis and blocked. So that means that you can only access it after you are being selected and you get to France, so that you use that. Yeah. And that's not small money, I know.
So, from what I've heard, with the TAPIF, you basically have to do everything. Are you going to pay for the visa, the flight? Can you tell us more about that?
Well, at least you don't pay for your visa. You only pay like 301 cedis to the VFS office when you're submitting your documents for the visa. So the visa is free, but you have to take care of your own tickets from Ghana to France, from France backwards. And accommodation is by you. If you are fortunate to have like a high school, normally the high schools, some of them, not every high school, they have accommodation. And so if you are fortunate to have a high school that has accommodation to give you, it means you are not going to pay so much for accommodation. But apart from that, you have to look for accommodation by yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
So that means that for the accommodation you pay by yourself.
you pay by yourself.
Like how much a range per month? What's the range?
Well, actually, it depends on the region. It depends on the region, the city that you find yourself in. So, for instance, last year I was paying about 540 for accommodation, and that was a lot. But you have, if you are fortunate, you should get one that is eligible for CAF. CAF is aide logement given by the government to help you to help pay part of your accommodation. So you should get one that is eligible. And currently in this my current region, I'm paying about 400 euros. So it depends on your region. I think the minimum is about 330 to 350, and then the rest up to 500 and something. Yeah.
So viewers, the more popular the region, the more you pay. You have to lose. For that, I know. I remember back then, I chose Bordeaux because of that. Because it was lower than the Caen was closer to Paris, so that one was more expensive. Yeah, so you just have to know that the more popular the region you want to be in, the more you would pay for the accommodation. But thankfully, you'd be paid at the end of the month, right? Can you tell us a bit about that?
So your gross salary is about 1,000 something euros, but at the end of the month you'll be receiving 800 euro. But we have France Metropolitan, and then we have the Outre-mer that's outside overseas. And so in the overseas regions, those ones you still have about 1,000 something as gross, but you have thousand something as your net. Yeah. It's just because life at the Outre-mer is a little bit different than the metropolitan. So that's the difference. Yeah.
Okay, so viewers, you've heard all of that. So the last question that I have, that means that if the person is not a student, has completed national service, the person cannot do it at all. No chance.
Uh, well, I wouldn't really speak for Campus France and the France Education Internationale, but I think if you've completed national service and you don't have any job, you're not working, especially with the government, you can still try.
I
Yeah.
also think you can still try. You never know. Never
Yeah.
know. And then, is there a physical facility in Ghana that somebody can walk into to ask about this, the TAPIF?
Yeah, we do have a physical facility that is Campus France. They are always there for you 24/7. So you can contact them. You can look for their contact email or also the WhatsApp numbers on their site. Just type Campus France Ghana. You would have access to their website, and then you reach out to them, or you go to. I think they are now at. Or pay, yeah, I think they're Airport Square area, they near Alliance Française, so they are no longer at Legon campus. So you can visit them there as well in person to make your inquiries. Yeah.
I love Campus France. Viewers, if you're not following Campus France, especially if you're a student or you have a child and you're not following Campus France, you're missing out a lot, huh? Because they
Yeah.
represent everything that I wish I had back then. So I'm super, whenever I see anything from Campus France, I'm just super excited and I'm always busy quickly sharing it. I think
Yeah.
I have to bring somebody from Campus France on the show to talk about it. Okay, so your topic, the topic, is it as TAPIF, the president of TAPIF Ghana, is it an association? What is that about?
Okay, so thank you again for the question. TAPIF is, again, as we are aware, teaching assistant program in France, and then Ghana, of course, because we are Ghanaian assistants, so it's TAPIF Ghana Association. Now, the TAPIF Ghana Association is a community of Ghanaian assistants, and the association is just there to consolidate all Ghanaian assistants in France into one community, and we are there to help in the transitioning of new assistants coming to France. So we have like the transition team where you have like I think I think you've already seen Michael on LinkedIn. He was very instrumental in helping us pick new assistants from the airports to their destination stations and all that. So the TAPIF Ghana plays a major role in the transitioning of new assistants. It also gives you a sense of belonging. So for new assistants coming, you're not going to feel alone. You already have some people, experienced people there to help you and all that. And then yeah, so basically that is it. And then we also share resources because you are just coming, you have no idea of what to do, what to prepare. So we share like teaching and learning resources also that are available. If you are blocked or anything, we could easily help you in the community to be able to overcome that. Yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet. I first saw Michael's post on the Faga page and I was super excited. It's like when I see opportunities that were not there back then, looking at how people usually ask me why I never went back to France again. I never went back to France again, not because I didn't like the place, but personally my experience wasn't too nice. Maybe living in France and but I mean spending money from Ghana, you know.
Oh yeah, that would be super expensive.
Yeah, it was super expensive for my parents, and the fact that I tried searching for work and it didn't work out, things. So I came back to Ghana very fulfilled that I'm able to speak my French, I have my certificates, but I also felt bad that I had drained my parents'
Yeah.
accounts. They literally had to. I always say my dad had two cars at that time. He had to sell one to support. So it was a major, major sacrifice. I told myself that I'll never go back to France again unless I'm financially able to take care of things myself. I don't want to be a burden on anyone. So I tried to get I didn't want to stay in France. Like I just wanted to just come learn it and then I kind of achieved my goal. But because of how the French educational system was, which I enjoyed, which was basically the only thing I enjoyed in France, I wanted to come back and then do my master's. I tried for 2 years and the kind of grants they were given, like it was crazy. At that time, Campus France wasn't in Ghana, so I had to search everything online. I had ESC Ren, and I think the fee at that time, I don't remember whether it was 1,002 or 2,000. I don't remember whether it was 1,002 or 12,000. And then the grant was 3,000. I got the grant, but 3,000 out of 12,000, it wouldn't make any difference. Like I said, no, no, no. After what I've experienced there, menko review. Nah, I won't do it again. So I made them defer it for the next year. The next year, the grant was still standing, but still it didn't work out. I tried Bugoy, the Gandhi School of Business also. That one also, I think that one was 900 or something. Like maybe my 12,000 is too much. Maybe it was 1,002. I don't really remember, but because it was way back then, like it sounded like a big figure for me. It was 900 and they were giving me a grant of, is it 200 or something? It was just too small. I said, hey, people, after what I've gone to suffer, they always come and suffer again. I don't know, I'd rather stay in Ghana. So that is how my desire for French just got lost and it's not back. Like I mean, it's glad to be in France. It's not even there anymore. It went, but I'm happy that others are getting what I did. Like I had to drop that aspect of my dream because I couldn't do it anymore. And I'm seeing younger people who are taking advantage of this because systems have been set in place to let them have it. I didn't have it. You are having it. Why should I be jealous? I'm happy. I just want to clap for everybody, push as many people as can go in there because I know that even with the little I got, I'm achieving a lot. So with all of you, with all that you are getting, you're going to do greater and greater and greater than any of us have ever done. And I'm super inspired. That's why I keep following you guys. And I'm so happy to see you. I'm so
Yes,
happy
so
to see you. So when
we
I
pray
saw
for
Michael post,
greater we pray for greater heights too for you too.
so when I saw Michael post the pickup, the airport pickup, I have a very funny story about how I got to Bordeaux. It's a very funny story. So when I saw it, wow, this is great.
I'm sure you had to navigate your way through Paris.
actually wrote all the steps that I need to have to get to my destination. That was Bordeaux. But when she wrote Terminal 3, I thought it was a door.
Ah,
Walking around asking for Terminal 3, and so somebody told me, this is where you are. This is Terminal 3. And then I finally got to Bordeaux. My hostel was right behind me because she gave me a very good direction. My hostel was right behind me. But
and
then
then you were moving around it.
it's not that I even moved around it. Somebody, I met a fellow African, told me this time the hostel is closed. So I should find a hotel to go and sleep in. I didn't know any hotel. So they helped me. She got me an Ivorian who took me to her room to go and sleep there for the night. Then, because I didn't know the place, the next morning she was bringing me back and she took me to a different village, like a different hostel. They didn't have my records in their system. But everything showed that I had paid. I had the receipts. So they took the receipts and they gave me a room. We packed my things into the room and then we were coming down to fully register everything. Then a Ghanaian who was in that particular hostel saw me holding a Ghanaian passport. Then he asked me, are you the other Ghanaian girl? I said, yes, I am. So your friends are in Village Trois. Which one? I was so excited because I don't like French food and those strange things that they eat. So on flights, I couldn't eat. The lady, she's on slim tea. Me, look at me, give me slim tea. Mint tea and croissant was what I had eaten that morning. So when I finally met this Ghanaian guy, he took me to where I was supposed to be. I went there, my Ghanaian friends were cooking. I sat on the floor and ate like somebody who had been hungry for days. And so I'm like, what if this guy had not come there? What if he had not seen my Ghanaian passport? Charlie, Ghanaian passport is powerful. Oh, the day I want to know that the Ghanaian passport is very powerful. Eh?
Yeah. We recognize ourselves quickly.
That was her, that experience. So when I saw Michael's own, I was like, wow, I'm happy that somebody is making it easier for me.
Yeah, I mean, there's a much more improved system now, and we have old assistants willing to help. So that's what the TAPIF Ghana is also there for. So new assistants, there's no need for you to panic. Yeah.
For all that you are doing. Ok, donc on a trop parlé, je pense on a tout dit. Est-ce que tu
Ouais.
as des conseils pour nos spectateurs? Est-ce que tu as des conseils avant de terminer, pour conclure? Est-ce que tu as à nous dire?
Oh là là, avec des conseils. En fait, ce sont des conseils généraux et je sais bien que peut-être vous avez déjà entendu parler de tout ça, mais je vais quand même les mentionner. Ce que je peux dire à la première, c'est de trouver une raison. Essayez de trouver une raison pour laquelle vous apprenez le français. Et comme ça, la motivation pour apprendre le français, ça devient un peu forte. Et il faut pas être partout. Même si vous n'avez pas de raison, essayez de penser. Il faut penser aux opportunités liées au français. OK? Et là, tu vas avoir une motivation pour l'apprendre. Et après, il faut pas dire, ah bah, essayez de parler. OK? Parler, parler, parler. Et il faut pas dire que bah, je connais pas tous les grammaires, les règles de la grammaire. Je peux pas parler, je connais pas les vocabulaires. En fait, je suis pas à l'auteur. Il faut juste essayer de dépasser le plateau pour améliorer ton niveau. Donc, parler malgré les erreurs, sortir aussi de ta zone de confort. Euh, En fait, c'est ça le truc avec nous les Ghanéens. On aime rester dans la zone de confort. Donc, essayez de sortir de la zone de confort. Si vous avez trouvé des personnes qui parlent français, essayez de parler avec eux. Osez de parler malgré les erreurs. Et et aussi, il faut trouver ce qui marche pour vous. Il faut pas être partout. OK, aujourd'hui, j'ai vu une personne qui a dit que j'ai appris grâce à des vidéos, j'ai appris grâce au podcast. essayez de trouver ce qui marche pour vous. Et vous pouvez, si vous êtes quelqu'un qui est structuré, qui est un peu organisé, essayer d'établir des routines. Et aussi, il faut être entouré par le français. Donc, dans ta chambre, vous avez des livres, vous avez des tables, vous avez une chaise. Essayez de nommer les objets, changer la langue de ton portable, ton ordinateur. Et là, vous êtes entouré, vous êtes dans le français, vous vivez dans le français et c'est pas à chaque fois que vous traduisez en tête avant de parler, ok? Et je peux aussi dire qu'en fait, le voyage, ça serait pas souple. Vraiment, ça serait pas souple, ça serait pas facile. Il y aura des moments où on devient bloqué, tout nul dans le cerveau. Donc, juste ça, en fait, ça arrive, ok? Ça arrive et il faut pas être découragé. Il faut juste oser de parler. Voilà. Donc, je crois que c'est toutes les astuces que j'ai pour vous. Les astuces et aussi les conseils pour vous. Merci.
Super. Alors, est-ce que vous pouvez dire tout ça en anglais?
D'accord, merci. So in English, what I was basically saying is that you should try to find a reason why you are learning the French. When you have a reason, you have a motivation that is very strong, and that will help you to learn the language. Thing is, if even if you don't have a reason, try to just imagine the opportunities that come with French, and then force yourself to learn it. And then you should also try to from the deep passage, just try to go a bit above your level. Okay, there are some people that say that I don't understand the grammar rules. I cannot speak. I do not have the vocabularies. Tac tac tac. Just go ahead and speak despite the errors, because if you don't speak, how do you expect to know how to speak in the first place? How do you expect to correct your errors if you don't speak? So just go ahead, speak, 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 speak. And then don't say that, oh, I'm not at that level. I'm not a native. I have the wrong accent, blah, blah, blah. Stop blabbing and speak. And and then please don't, I know we have like a lot of information on the internet. Watch videos, what this. It works for people, but find what works for you. Don't say, okay, today I saw this lady, she said I watched a video, it worked with me with videos, so let me go with videos. Try to find something that works for you. It could be something about your interest. Si vous aimez le maquillage, il faut parler le français. Just use French to describe your makeup routine for us. If you have to record it to just watch it by yourself or post it online, you can go ahead with that. So build it around you. You have chairs in your room, you have beds, you have everything in your room. Why don't you name them in French? Say them in French. If you are waking up in the morning, je me lève à 7 heures. Just say it in French, okay? Okay, I've just said I wake up at 7 o'clock. How do you say that in the passé? Je me suis levé. Then you go ahead and then so just surround yourself with the language. Live in the language. And I think in one of my posts, I said you should dream in the language, okay? So dream in it, live in it. And once you are living in it, you get used to it as well. So that's basically it. Thank you.
Okay, so that's a very good advice, especially for us who live in countries where we don't hear the French. Have to
Yeah.
so it's not everybody who gets to travel to learn. There are some people, I think last time I interviewed a pastor who learned online right here. And I know
Okay.
another person who's also, both of them are engineers. He's in Ghana. When he speaks the French, you think he's lived in France before, but no, he's lived
Okay.
it online. He registered for a course, then he speaks the French perfectly. So you don't always have to travel to the country. If it comes, if the travel chance comes, go ahead. But
Yeah.
travel is expensive. It's not everybody who gets that opportunity. So if that one does not come, you create the environment for yourself. I tell people that Like I said, after going to France in 2007, I returned in 2008. I've never gone back before. But I speak good French because
Yeah.
I create the environment. And with everybody that I teach, the children that I teach, everybody that encounters me knows that I am always surrounded by French. People ask me, do you teach your children French? I said, no, I don't teach them French. It falls on them. I don't send my children down to say, come, I'm teaching you French. No, I'm
Yeah, right.
teaching something French. So they hear it and they picked it. I don't even make an effort to teach them. I don't even have to. Unless they brought work from school. And most of the time, the work that they bring from school, they already know it. And as I'm teaching people, they are sitting there, they are learning with it, or the Saturday sessions which we have, they sit in it. I don't even need to make an effort. They're just surrounded by it and then they're okay. Right? So creating the environment, that is what we mean when we say Français monde, French world. You create French world and then you sit in it. It will help you to improve your French. Thank you so much, Ethel, for coming. Wait. I have to ask. I know you're on social media. Please tell us your social media handles. We have to.
Bah, du coup, je suis sur Instagram, je suis sur Facebook, je suis sur TikTok aussi. Et YouTube, là, je suis pas très active, mais j'ai des vidéos là. Donc, en anglais. En mon- Et donc, le nom, c'est Ethel Adika. OK, si vous cherchez Ethel Adika, mais c'est sur TikTok, c'est French with Ethel. OK, French with Ethel ou Ethel Emerald. Je me souviens pas très bien, mais je crois que c'est ça, French with Ethel. So, on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, even Twitter, but for Twitter, I don't do like French stuff. So it's mostly my poetry stuff that are there. So you can just reach to me across all platforms. And the name is Ethel Adika. But TikTok is French with Ethel or Ethel Emerald as the username. So yeah. Thank you.
Okay, guys. So that is Ethel for you. Please follow her and learn from her. And my name is Wilhelmina Dakwa. I'm on Facebook and Instagram as Wilhelmina Dakwa. LinkedIn as well, Wilhelmina Dakwa. I have a Cornelia. I don't even know where I drop it and where I put it in there. So you can look for me there. And then YouTube, you're here on YouTube. Yes. And then my business name is Achievers Success Hub. Achievers Success Hub. In any way you need to find someone, Franc, the C has an accent there, that's why it's Franco and not Franco. Find someone, that is me. Because everything that we do that has to do with French, we call that Francomont. Francomont is a brand that we have for everything that is related to French. Just because we don't only do French. There are a whole lot of things that we do. So please look out for me as well on social media. I would love to link up with you. All right, merci d'être venue, Ethel. Tu m'as vraiment inspirée. Je suis très inspirée et je suis sûre que les spectateurs sont aussi inspirés.
Merci.
Thank you so much for coming, Ethel. I am very much inspired, and I'm sure that my viewers have also been inspired. So,
Je-
now we meet again. Oh, she was responding. I'm still talking. Please stay with
Non, en fait, je voudrais vous remercier aussi pour cette opportunité et aussi les spectateurs qui nous regardent. Donc, j'espère que vous allez être inspirés et devenir, comment on dit, sérieuse avec votre voyage en français. Merci.
Not say the English.
So, thank you, Madam Wilma, for this opportunity, and thank you to our viewers who are watching us. And I hope that you would be inspired and then become serious with your journey in French as well. Yeah.
Okay. Merci. All right, guys, that's all for today. Until we meet again, it is over.
Au revoir.